Hello, this is Dwight Norris of FishingAtWork.com, and today I wanted to do just a quick little video about lunch disruptions. Today I was planning on going fishing during lunch, had everything set up, ready to go. It was a great day, a little windy, but still a great day to go fishing, and I had the time. Then I was told, oh, the new guys started and we're going out to lunch and you're going. So I went because one, I was a little hungry, and two, that's what I wanted to do. It's a nice thing to go out with the new folks and have a nice little lunch and show them the things they want to do or they're going to do and just get to know them. But I really wanted to go fishing and I was planning on it. And there's certain situations like this which you may run in every once in a while, or maybe more than you actually want. But if you can plan for them, that would be much better. But these things happen sometimes completely out of the blue. And I just want to list off a few examples. One, being a team lunch or something, or somebody asks you to go to lunch and you feel obligated to go. Maybe you have some high priority work that comes in right when you're supposed to be going to get something to eat. Like, oh, where are you going for lunch? Ah, we really need this done right now. The release is going out, or some customer is asking for this and they want it done now. This would really help the company and help me, and which will inevitably help you. So if you could do this, that would be great. Things like that. And or maybe you were just sitting at your desk or doing your work wherever, and you just forgot. You just forgot lunch. You forgot about fishing, or maybe you went to lunch and you forgot about fishing. You go back to your desk or wherever, and you look down and you see your bag with your fishing rod in it, and you're like, oh no, it was my fishing day. Or if, like me, maybe every day's your fishing day, you can still forget. But how do you forget something you do every day? I don't know, but it happens. Happens all the time. Or maybe you're just very hungry. Who knows? You gotta eat, right? Or you have a scheduled activity. You gotta go to the doctor, you have a dentist appointment, you're supposed to meet this person at a certain time, you have a presentation, or you're gonna see somebody nearby, or you're gonna pick up something that you got online. Or you have an unscheduled activity. Maybe your children are sick and you have to run over to the school to pick them up, or or who knows, it's an unscheduled activity. It could be anything you can, imagine. And if there's an emergency, yeah, well, you're nothing you can do about that. Emergencies are emergencies, and you should deal with those first. Don't do fishing. That's the only time I'll probably tell you not to do fishing, because of an emergency. Emergencies need to be need to be taken care of immediately. So, what can you do about these things? Let's say for a team lunch. If you don't have a time prescribed lunch, lunch is at from 12 to 1 and that's it at your company. Well, if it is at 12 to 1 and you use that time doing something else, then it will be near impossible because you're clocking in and clocking out to do that time for fishing. You'll have to focus on if that day, since you can't go in the morning, maybe there's some time in the afternoon. But if you can change that time, like today, I could have just gone out and gone fishing afterwards. But then I had that sort of thing where I did go to lunch, I did use that time, so it's not really applicable. So, for the most part, I should have probably just gone after work. But I didn't have that time after work. I went home instead. But I didn't go fishing today. I decided just to go back to work and continue my job. So if you have high priority work, it's very important the customer or your boss or whoever wants you to spend that time working. Well, maybe you can grab a quick snack somewhere. Like, I'll be right back. Just let me grab something downstairs, or you have lunch with you. You just gobble it down while you're working. The key is to get the food fast to keep you sustained and consume it quick. Well, not can consume it relatively quickly while you're actually working on that work. And hopefully that work will be done quickly. So then after it's done, you will have earned your actual time, and then you can go out and go fishing. Problem solved for that day. This becomes like a reoccurring thing. Maybe you should think or about that or have a conversation with your boss about how you can like minimize the amount of high priority work. And there are certain things you can do within your business to help the customer not have to run into these situations. Maybe you find problems before they happen, or you deal with these relatively very important situations in a different manner, because something's happening that often, it must not be that important. Figure out if they're actually using your fixes or whatever you're doing immediately. If they're just crying for something to be fixed immediately, and you run around with your head cut off like a chicken, and then they get it and they sit on it for a week. That doesn't really feel good to your company, to your boss, or to you. They're just using you. But this isn't your company, so for the most part, you have to do what you say, do what they say. Now, if you forgot and you were, there's two sides of this. You forgot, you're working, but you didn't eat lunch. Boom. It just means you can have your fishing time later, and also with your lunchtime. You can have a quick snack, you can eat, you can still have fun, you can come back at a prescribed time. If you had that 12 to 1 thing going on and you forgot, you can tell your boss, hey, I didn't eat lunch, but I worked these hours, so I'm going to complete my day with these hours. Can I go have lunch from 1 to 2 instead? And you know, they'll make that decision. They'll say, hey, please don't miss that lunch hour, etc., or something. And then, you know, continue on just like my other example. Go fishing, have your lunch, come have a good time, come back. Awesome. And the other thing I said was being very hungry. So, well, I for one am very hungry most of the time. So you have to prepare for that. If this is like a one-time off thing where you're like, oh my God, I'm starving. I can't like go out fishing. I'll have to concentrate on that, and I won't be able to eat anything or eat enough. So something you can do is basically you can prepare a large meal if you know you're going to be hungry. You like start off that day like hungry, like you're throwing down like 2 bowls of cereal, you're eating yogurt, you're having a coffee, you're having a juice, you're throwing on a fruit on the side or whatever, you're having a donut, whatever you're eating, but you're eating a lot more than usual. You know that lunch will probably be just as much. So you should prepare for that and make a big meal. And then you can take that fishing with you and eat it accordingly. If you don't have anything and you're starving, you don't have time, well, you'll probably have to spend a bit of time getting that large lunch. You can go locally and grab something really quick, a big old 12-inch sub. That should be able to take down anybody's hunger. And, you know, whatever on the side for a juice or something, or like a smoothie. Smoothies are a little thicker, so it should sustain you a little more. Or if you have a protein shake, that'll be good too. But the real key is to get it quick and then get back to what you were planning on doing, which is fishing. What were we talking about? Yes, scheduled activities like the dentist or the doctor or whatever else. If you have to go there, then those hours, I say hours because those two activities usually run longer than a scheduled lunch. You can't get it done, so more or less they're giving you leeway to do that. So you should just go do that and then go back to work. It'll have to be, you know, I lost today because of the dentist. I lost today because of the doctor. I lost today because I had to take my child to the doctor, or whatever else you're doing. So just gonna have to pony up on that one. And for unscheduled activities, it's pretty much the same thing. But scheduled activities, unscheduled activities, and emergencies are 3 extenuating factors or situations that you just can't get around, really, I think, with negotiations. But hey, as I always say, doesn't hurt to ask. If you ask your boss and say, oh, I had to rush over to the doctor and I just didn't get anything to eat, could I just like you know, grab something quick to eat, and then I'll head back to the office or wherever else you work. Hmm. Well, if they agree, then maybe you can spend a little bit of time eating and fishing, as long as it isn't for too much. Or maybe you can do that and work from home, and you can just take that time and then work from home, and then work your hours at a different hour. Work a little later. Work till 6, 7 o'clock, if that's good for you. If you can move time around really and just still delegate some time for fishing during these situations, it's a great thing. But if you were caught in a I think you're like punching the clock, and you have to do certain things at certain hours. You can only work 9 to 5. You can only do your lunch from 12 to 1. Then you're really pigeonholed, and that's a really like tough job to live in. That can really like honestly it's hurt your brain after a while, and you're like if you're not getting the kind of feedback from your boss about you're doing a good job and you're moving up in the pay scale, you're moving up in the progress, you're getting promotions and stuff. And if you're sticking around in the same position, it's kind of rough to do that because you have no control. You're not going to get any control. You'll be in the same place you are now as you will be in 5 to 10 years, and you should really think about getting out of a situation like that. Trying to go fishing during lunch hour will show you just how much control you have and make you rethink about what you should be doing and what you can do. So, if you can only do it half the time, that's fine. That's half a week that you're fishing. Were you fishing half a week beforehand? Probably not. So, even one time a week of fishing can be great if you're not fishing any times in a week. But if you can fish 5 times a week, great. Or if you can find a situation where you can fish every day for unlimited hours, wouldn't that be awesome? And not do it during retirement. That's the ultimate goal. So hopefully this video has helped you think about and ponder about your situation and how you can handle it if you run into weird situations where you don't have your lunch or where you're forced to take your lunch or do something else for your lunch and you really want to go fishing or you're planning on going fishing. So, see you next time. Until then, find a way to get out there and go fishing.